Welcome, Sacramento soccer fans, to the State of the Republic podcast. I'm your host, Luis, and as you guys can see here you might not be able to see my background, but I'm actually not in my home studio, and that's why we're recording this a little bit later. I'm actually in Vegas right now. I'll be here till tomorrow. So pardon me if the audio sounds different, but I'm not using my typical microphone here, and I'm also not using my typical laptop. So hopefully there's not too much lag, but if there is any lag with the audio or video, then that's why. But in today's episode, we're going to talk about two games. Last week's epic tie that led to the penalty kicks, which Jared, once again, in the scene to actually take us now to the final of the USL Cup, which is really awesome because it'll be on my birthday, so I'm really excited about that. So we'll talk about that game, and we'll also talk about last Saturday's game, another tie, the 2-2 tie against Phoenix Rising. Jared is in Sacramento until tomorrow as well, so he'll be talking to us more about his experience coming back home. And then, of course, we'll briefly mention our upcoming opponent, Colorado Springs Switchbacks, and then, of course, go through the goals, go through podcast winner dinner, and then call it an episode here so we can get this posted for everyone. Again, sorry for the delay, but I'm out traveling, but we were able to make it happen today, so let's go ahead and introduce our full house tonight here. First, let's go over to, I'm glad I could actually say this time, to the city of Sacramento, specifically around downtown area with Jared. How's it going, Jared?
Oh, man. You ever need a vacation from your vacation? Because right now, that's how I'm feeling right now here in downtown. An amazing weekend altogether, including the match because like I mentioned earlier, I had no idea we even tied, but I was just that much into the vibe of the match, and I cannot wait to get into some of the scores. And then also I need to talk about a couple other things as well as far as food related, and then, of course, getting back here. But we'll certainly talk about that here in the episode. And once again, if my voice sounds a little bit odd, there's going to be reasons why.
Oh, yeah. No, I can imagine. I mean, it was quite a epic game on Saturday as well, and it's usually how it is for Phoenix Rising games, right? I feel like there's always something that goes on. Well, next up, and I got to share this on the screen because Jared just mentioned something, and Sharon I know wants to talk about this, so let's talk about it now. For the podcast listeners, we'll let you guys know more on it. But let me see. Actually, sorry, I put Rian. Sorry, Rian. I'm gonna put Sharon, but my computer's a little laggy here. But how's it going, Sharon? We have on the screen for our listeners, Jared being featured on the Sac Republic FC Instagram page. And so I know you wanted to say a little bit about this, right? And I know your comment is also on the screen there. But how's it going, Sharon? And tell us more about this.
So it was epic to see Jared on Saturday. That was probably the best hug I've ever had. And people who didn't know who you were, Jared, were asking me, hey, this guy must be important because you hugged him for a long time. And it's like, yeah, he's like one of the four of us on the podcast. So yes, it was really fun. But this photo, my comment was, does he even remember having his photo taken? Is truthful. It's very truthful because Jared had no idea that Phoenix scored 2 goals against us in the second half until Scott Bradford. I'm telling your story, Jared, because it cracked me up until Scott Bradford drove him back to his hotel, and Jared was talking about how we spanked Phoenix. And Scott was like, what are you talking about? We tied. So he had a great time. This is evidence of Jared having the best time because that's what life is all about. It's about having a good time with friends. And and more good times were had today. We'll leave it there. Looking forward to getting in. And by the way, it is Tuesday today when Luis is referring to tomorrow, Jared leaving tomorrow. Jared's leaving Wednesday. So just kind of put things into perspective, days of the week and that sort of thing. Anyhow, we will quickly get into things to talk about. There weren't any goals. Well, there were penalty kicks to talk about for the match against Rhode Island. And then we'll talk about the wheels falling off in Phoenix. No fault of the team. They were exhausted. They gave it everything. Road trip all of the things. I think it's Rion's turn to say hello.
Yeah, hey, what's up? Yeah, I just want to add in, like, Jared, that was like the best hug I've ever had. Like, I'm known for giving out good hugs, but holy shit, that was a giant ass bear hug that I got. I was not expecting that. Also, like, I need to figure out, Luis, how tall are you? Because I'm trying to figure out if I'm the shortest person on this podcast or not.
I am 5'8".
Oh, god damn it. Okay, I'm cool. That's cool. But yeah, happy to be here. Busy week. I'm so happy it's done. 4 articles in the week is tiring. But yeah, happy to be here. Happy to talk Rhode Island and Phoenix for you.
Yeah, no, it was a busy week for you, and then you got the final now, so you're gonna have another busy week upcoming. But hey, we don't mind it, right? Hopefully, after that, you have another busy week talking about the road to a championship is what we're hoping for. And it is my birthday again, so that birthday luck, we need it more than ever before, right? For the championship game, so please be there for October 4th. All right, well, let's go ahead and get into talking about Golazo Gratitude, and also just to let everyone know, we might not have the usual jingles because, again, I'm on a different computer, so this episode might be kind of weird, but, I mean, you could just hopefully remember the jingles, and we'll just get right to it. But, hey, it'll help us actually have a shorter podcast maybe. But Golazo Gratitude, and go ahead, Sharon, you can lead us off here.
Hey, yeah. So I'm just grateful that the club that the team did so well in Rhode Island with their penalty kicks and with the saves and all that other stuff. And by the way, if you haven't done trivia, Rion had to correct himself. I thought Jared Mazzola made 2 saves, right? I swear he made 2 saves. I know they missed one over the top, but I thought he made 2 saves.
No, actually, so Amy called me out on it. Jared got 1 save, one of them went off the post.
Okay. Well, good to know. So, but anyhow, irrespective of that, just glad that we're in the championship final. But the other thing that I'm really happy about is, we're in good standing right now in the stats column, except for Corey Bennett. I'm gonna smack him. Well, anyhow, fiery kid. Jared coming to town, turning the town upside down by being here and having the time of his life. Golazo of gratitude to Jared for making the trek and actually sporting the jerseys. He wore the new kit, the throwback kit, and he put Ian Frazier number 4 on the back, throwback from the indoor Sacramento Knights. Perfect timing. He got to wear it and he looked great in it. And he's wearing it right now.
Absolutely.
Yep. Good stuff, J-Rod. Rion.
Yeah, I only have a couple Golazos. I want to shout out Saturday's Football and the team for hosting a little pop-up over the weekend. That's where I got my John Obi Mikel Chelsea jersey. So happy to pick that up. And one more Golazo to, like, this anime Demon Slayer put out like one of its finale movies over the weekend, so I was able to go see that. Definitely shed some tears. There were some character deaths in that movie that got me going, and I'm definitely not looking forward to the next one because there are going to be more character deaths in that. But anyways, it was still a fun ride. Good weekend for the team, and yeah, Jared, any Golazos for you?
Oh, I've got plenty of Golazos here. Well, first of all, Golazos gratitude going out to Sharon for helping out with the kit. As you can tell, it's an excellent fit. I know there's been a few critics here and there, but from what I've seen on Discord, it's been received pretty well as far as the new kit for the club. And I've been trying to tell folks, don't worry, the crest is not changing. It's just for this kit. But also, Golazos gratitude to Scott Bradford, who mentioned earlier, was able to drop me off and let me know that we did draw because I was under the influence that under the influence too, all the viewers. But I was under the influence that we were winning 2-1. So I mean, that's why I thought that's why I was just feeling so euphoric at the second half of the game. But also Golazos of gratitude to my mom. We had just taken a day trip on Sunday to Santa Cruz. we kind of made this like her early 70th birthday present because she really wanted to go on the Giant Dipper, and she just took it like a champ. I mean, they slapped us both in, couldn't even move or nothing like that, and we just flew right through it, and she loved it. I mean, it was an amazing time. So thank you again, Mom, as far as that goes. And then also lots of gratitude to everyone that showed up to the match. It sucked that Luis couldn't make it, but he's in Vegas. He's probably betting the house on craps or blackjack, something like that. But nonetheless, everyone that showed up, thank you. You made this such a wonderful trip, and you've given me the reason why my throat is so sore right now. And then also one last cause of gratitude to the bench that was able to get me a free cryotherapy and free red light appointment, Restore in Lomas Plaza. I'll talk about that here in a little bit. But Luis, what's your cause of gratitude?
All right, so I got a few of them. First one goes out to my girlfriend for inviting me to her dad's birthday party. I had a great time, great food as usual. Another one goes out to you three, actually, for being flexible and allowing me to record now, because I know we've kind of moved our recording times around a bit, but glad it's working out here. Another one goes out to another podcast friend of mine who actually lives in Vegas and actually invited me to get some tacos from Tacos El Gordo, which I believe, Jared, you're really familiar with them. I think you mentioned them at some point. But
yeah, I had seen them. I tried to go into the line, but the line for it was just humongous. I just like, let me go somewhere else. I mean, so it's kind of a double-edged sword for them. But sometime soon I will have to try them because East Texas Mexican food sucks. That's all I have to say. It sucks.
Yeah, well, anyone who comes out here to Vegas or in San Diego, I believe also, they actually have Tacos El Gordo, and you got to go there. It's 100% worth it. If you have to wait in line for an hour, then go for it and wait for it. Thankfully, when we went, we didn't have to wait much, so that was really awesome. So great place, but I think some of the best Mexican food I've had in a while. Yeah, and other than that, another one goes out to the team for getting to the final last week. I know it's not easy to travel cross country out there, but for Jared making another spectacular few saves and to make us, finalists for the USL Cup in the first edition of Championship being involved, it's a lot because it's not easy to make it there when you're competing against so many teams, and only the top teams are able to qualify to the further finals. So lots of gratitude to the team and for all that they did. All right, well, let's go ahead and get right to talking about the last week's game at Rhode Island. I'll go ahead and share it here. Hopefully it's not too laggy, but I'm going to share it on the screen here so we could see some of the data here. But as I'm doing that, let's go ahead and hear from Rian first. What were your thoughts on last week's, once again, another 0-0 tie in the USL Cup?
Yeah, my thoughts on this match were, we thought this was Rhode Island is like a defensive team. They're known to be stout defensively. We talked about it in the lead up to this matchup. Sacramento got the better chances but held out, and yeah, it would have been great to win this in regulation. But Sacramento does what Sacramento does and puts it away on penalties. Great showing from the boys to get another tough victory on the road to an East Coast opponent. Yeah, solid performance from them.
All right, here we go. Here's the stats here. Sharon, what were your thoughts when you were watching the game?
Oh, the Rhode Island match, man, it was kind of a nail biter. Considering that I felt that our squad had it in the bag. It's like the opportunities were there. It was a good match to watch, and I actually thought we broke them down many times, but we just didn't capitalize during match play and had to go straight to PKs. But the fact that our shooters shot and they were dead on, and theirs not so much. So, you walk away from that match going, okay, we know how to score PKs. So that was a bonus. But the guys had just played the prior Saturday, right? And our coach actually put a good squad on the field. And I was thinking to myself, oh, these guys, how are they going to last? Because they just played in the most horrible humidity. It was just the nastiest conditions on the East Coast the Saturday prior. So when I saw who we put out on the pitch as the starting lineup, I didn't have reservations, but I was like, I just hope they can last. And they did for the most part. If you think about it, you could tell there was some exhaustion creeping in. We talked online about how Nick Ross just flat out laid out on the pitch. At one point, he was spent. But it was good. At the end of the day, we're in the championship. Nobody's going to complain, right? Can't complain. And we've now got more time. Well, kind of, not really. No, take that back. After we play Monterey on the 27th, we turn around and play on the 1st, then we play the championship match on the 4th. So they're going to have that same thing. To quote Lee Desmond, well, not to quote him, but to paraphrase, good teams play more matches, and because they're good. So I think that's kind of what he meant. Rion, do you remember him saying that? Anyhow, and the guys know that. They know that they're good and that their performance has been good. The defense has been good. Yeah, we missed Jared Timmer, but we've got some guys stepping up. JJ, holy cow, the dude has literally stepped up. Amazing. But when you have a good team, you are going to be playing in cup games. You're going to be playing weird schedules. Things are going to get, shifted around, and you just do it. Thank you, Lee Desmond, for saying those words. And thank you, Ro, for carrying the team on your back. There you go.
Oh, I think there.
Yeah, as far as this match goes, I mean, it was going to be a tough one. I know Rhode Island has not exactly been the Rhode Island FC of 2024, but you know what? They're still fighting hard in this Jägermeister tournament. I mean, you've seen that for a lot of teams. They may not be doing great during the league play, but with that Jägermeister Cup going on, it's like a whole other beast going on. Thankfully, that transferred over to our league play. But seeing as how tenacious that our defense was, and Jared Mazzola, once again, with the mythical facial coiffure, working its magic again, manages to get us into the finals. And according to a post from Sacramento Republic FC, we are now the first USL Championship team to have played in 3 finals. The 2014 USL Championship final, of course, the 2022 US Open Cup, and then in a matter of weeks, the USL Jägermeister Cup. So that's definitely some history for our club. And hopefully we can take some hardware back, not only in a couple weeks, but later in November. So fingers crossed on that. I mean, you got to love how we're doing the PKs this year.
Yeah, and let's just hope that we don't depend on them on October 4th. Let's try and actually clear a match out there, right? I don't think we're not all ready to deal with penalty kicks in a final game, right? But yeah, I mean, we're doing really good in the cup. I feel like this game was definitely better than the Loudoun United game, right? We had more opportunities in this one. We could have won it in regular time. Granted, there towards the end of the match, I think Rhode Island started to pick up, if I remember correctly. But yeah, I mean, all in all, it's been quite the journey to make it here. And even the group phase, right? Was it just 1 goal against? Right, you guys, that's an amazing thing for the team to only have 1 goal scored against, right? Out of all the games that we've played in the cup, there's only 1, if I'm not mistaken, right? When I was going back and looking at the goals there, so I think steam is, or everything is on our side. We're the train that has the most steam leading into this, and we're at home, so I think the cards are all set for us. That I hope they don't feel like, okay, we got this, chill, it'll be all okay. Because we really have to give it our all, right? It's not every day you get to make it to a final. It's not every day that we have a final at home. If we make it to the USL Cup Championship final, I don't know if it'll be at Sacramento because the East is doing really good this year and they're getting a lot more points out there. So there's our opportunity to see yet another cup 11 years later. And I hope the team makes sure that we get that cup. And based on what I was watching, I don't know if any of you watched the Hartford game against Greenville, but Greenville gave them battle, right? I mean, they were losing 1-0. They tied 1-1. Of course, there towards the end, things kind of fell through for them, but they were barely making it, right, with a League One side. So we also have to consider the travel they're going to have and all that. So I'm just saying, this is our opportunity to get another championship, and it's never been as close as it is now. So that's that. Rian, I don't know if did you pull the video for this game for like the penalty?
Yeah, I can pull it up.
All right. So Rian will be sharing that on the video version here if you guys want to check out the video version to see that. But yeah, I mean, it was quite a interesting penalty kick shootout, right? Not one that we see often where we scored our first 3 penalty kicks and the other team fails to score their first 3. I mean, how often do you see a 3-0 penalty kick scored, right? Like it doesn't happen all that often. Normally at least one gets scored, right? But yeah.
No, the other team just totally boffed it, and we're happy.
Oh yeah, thankfully, yeah. And also, of course, Jared had his saves there, and then his. I feel like it seems to be like his new celebration, right? To like point at the shooter, right? That's been his thing. This time he didn't do the "you're talking," but it's just the pointing at them afterwards. It's almost like a little celebration of sorts, right? And as we look at the screen here, we're looking at the first penalty kick for Rhode Island, in one where Jared actually manages to save that one, right? It was an up high shot.
Actually,
right?
I think that was the one that comes off the post. Yeah.
Yeah, first one comes off the post.
Okay, that was the post one. Okay, I was like, there's a little lag on my side here. But Jared actually was going onto that side though, so I will say like he guessed it right. He did that. And next we're seeing the shot by Russell. I mean, what a shot, right? I mean, Russell, he's been scoring the penalty kicks left and right, and I feel like he puts a lot of power into them, to where even if the goalkeeper got it right, he would have never gone to it, right? I mean, you'd have to jump before he shoots.
Anyhow, so let's watch this one real quick.
So this was the second Rhode Island shot, the one that I don't know if they're still trying to figure out where that ball went. I hope it didn't like hit a cart, because that could have actually broken some glass there. But yeah, that ball went up high. And then the next shot was done by, if I'm not mistaken, I think is that
Michelle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michelle. Yeah.
Michelle. Mm-hmm.
And I believe Michelle also had a shot in the Loudoun United penalty kick shootout, right? I feel like he's also one there. And yeah, perfectly placed right there, right above where goalkeepers will rarely get to. And then, of course, the last penalty kick for Rhode Island, which was another save, right, by Jared, or the only save I should say, right? That was there, and
the one that counted.
Yeah, the epic final one. We all remember, 2022, right? That Danny save. I mean, it feels great when we get the one that we got, and I mean that was the 3-0. I mean, no drama for us at all, right? How good does it feel to get to see this? Even though this one was kind of funny, right? The ball goes up.
Watch the end. Watch the end. You guys, if you're watching, watch the end. He just rolls that corner flag, and then there's a dog pile, and it was the best celebration ever.
Oh, man. I loved it. I mean, it took me back to the US Open Cup semifinal when Roro kicked the winning PK.
Right.
And everybody just piled upon him. I mean, Mazzola, the man was magic.
I've never seen John Jacobs went. There's a lot of people that went on a private plane, funded by Kevin Nagel on the private plane. Scott Moak went. John Jacobs probably also was on the plane. I've never seen John Jacobs that animated and that happy. So that must have felt so good. Look at John. Look at JJ. He's just in there shaking the boards. Look at him. Have you ever seen that man that happy? That was ecstasy. That was just the best. Oh, so by the way, John Jacobs is the vice president of communications and, media. So yeah, usually those guys are like seriously stoic, because their jobs are, serious. But this time, nope, happy days.
Yeah, and then what we don't see in the highlights is once Jared got up, he goes and grabs the penalty kick flag, right? And I think he forgot what he was doing with it. But you guys remember that part? He grabs the penalty kick flag, and I think he like waves it, or he did something, or yeah. But it was funny. He got back up and did that. So great stuff for him. I mean, it's really nice that Jared spent some time on the bench, right, last year. And I know it wasn't easy for him to have to be in the bench, but for him to be now in this cup and for him to deliver us some now epic moments. I mean, we're always going to remember these two penalty kick shootouts, right? Regardless of what happens on the final, right? Just like with Danny, we're always going to remember that penalty kick shootout. Same here, right? I wish it would have happened in Sacramento, but it's still nice for us to recall that. So
I just want to add in, I feel like it's a requirement now for all new Republic players to have a good penalty, because we're seeing players from the defense now just coming up, rocking up, and slot a home a penalty so cleanly, and it's are all our players like this? What is happening here? All our penalties are clean and well taken. So just shout out to everybody who stepped up on the night.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree. I mean, the one thing that can be a headache for any team is finishing on penalty kicks. I mean, as we've seen with Rhode Island, the second one was just skied up, sent it practically all the way to Connecticut at that point. But Republic FC's penalty kicks, this Jägermeister Cup has been a blessing in disguise. This has more than helped our PK game. I mean, it was good in 2022, has faltered a little bit here and there, but this just admits this is one of the best PK years for the club in recent memory.
Yeah, I mean, you could tell the team is practicing them more, right? Which I feel like any team should, especially when you're in these, one-off games where you might go to penalty kicks. And you know what? I'm glad they're doing that, and they need to keep on doing that and make sure they're good, because I mean, of course, we run the risk of dealing with the same situation in the final, right? But you already know Jared's out there, I'm sure, doing extra drills, telling them hey, shoot at me more, and let me keep on stopping penalty kicks, right? Keep on having that confidence up high. All right, well, let's go ahead and move on to the following game. That was last Saturday, the game that Jared was able to be there and, of course, witness until we were losing, which I kind of wish we would just go by what Jared saw. Forget what we all saw. Let's go by what you saw. We saw a win, or you saw a win. Let's just stick with that. But I want to hear let's go first to Elk Grove with Sharon. I want to know your thoughts of this match. Again, just a few days after coming back from Rhode Island. Probably 2 days maybe, right? Or you were there when they came back, right?
Yeah,
was it Friday that
we welcomed them back. We welcomed them back on Thursday. We went to the airport on Thursday. There was four of us. There was Tina. There was Chris, myself, and Rosa and her brother. There were four of us, and then there were a couple of folks from the club that were there. So it was kind of hokey and it was kind of small, but it was very, you could tell the players were of two minds. I just want to get home. And, oh my God, look at these diehard fans. These guys are so goofy, because we had the cowbells, we had the scarves, and it was great to welcome them home. You could tell they were getting long in the tooth for travel. This took it out of them. They interviewed Coach and they interviewed Roro. When I say they, KCRA was there, and I believe one other TV station was there to greet them on the return, because this is a big deal to be in a cup final. So of course you're going to want to make sure that the players get an interview, or the coach gets an interview for this. But I had a Jägermeister towel, a rally towel that I picked up at the watch party on Wednesday. And I brought one specifically for Jared Mazzola. And if you look at that photo that we posted on our socials, we may have to repost it on State of the Republic. But if you look at the photo of Jared Mazzola's holding the rally towel, the Rhode Island Sacramento rally towel, it was so sweet. And it's a green towel. So it's the Jägermeister colors. Oh, dear God, with God being, anyhow, that's Jared's meme. If you haven't seen that one's really good. But to actually see the team come out on Saturday and see the squad again, putting a lot of the same guys. There was a little rotation. Ryan Spalding, there was a few rotations. I got there blazes early. I got there early. Jared was already there. Jared was already knee deep in whatever beer he had brought, and it was more thigh deep. Who knows it? Yeah. So, and then getting into the stadium early and getting to see the players again and cheering them, and the crowd erupted when our players took the pitch for training, for warm-ups. There was a lot of cheering going on. Rian, do you remember that?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, like the team has been on a road trip for like the past 5 games, so it's been good to see them back at home before they go back on the road again.
Yeah, it was good to welcome them home. It was good to see them play. Danny was in goal, and and Danny we trust. We'll talk about the match here in a second, but the leading up to it, I think our club is getting more and more creative with things to do outside of the seat areas. There was so much going on the breezeway, and I actually went and bought another hat because I bought the most coveted hat when I was there. I don't know if you can see this one. This hat is bomb. I had a neighbor friend of mine saw me that morning, and he's like, "Oh my God, that hat is killer." And it's a trucker hat, but it's solid in the back. It doesn't have the mesh, so it's nice. And the pop isn't as high. And I saw this on Ben, the vice president of marketing. I saw that Ben was wearing it, and I bought it on Wednesday when I was at the team store because I like this hat. I like this hat a lot. So, and then my neighbor saw it and loved it, so I bought him one. But there was so much going on. That stadium was popping. There were so many people, and everybody was saying, okay, to be fair, they had the country in the park or whatever that concert was over by the racetrack. So a lot of the vendors that normally be selling food, I think they were short-staffed because everybody was complaining about the lines were really long. It was either as a result of having more fans or there were fewer staff to handle the load because people were waiting a while. Luckily for me, my VIP ticket got me my food, separate. Anyhow, there you go. You want to talk about the game? Or you want to let Jared talk about his experience?
No, yeah, let's go with Jared.
Yeah.
That would be diving deep.
You gotta let us know when you stopped remembering.
Hey, that only happened one time, my 30th birthday at DNA Lounge, okay? But anyways, even before the match started, it was just chaos for the club. I mean, take Friday, for example. When I got in, I was looking to see if I was able to pick up my kit. And this was like shortly in the morning after I had dropped my bags off. It was to the point where they were so backlogged. And once again, as a gratitude to the staff at the pro shop. They had been so far behind, they hadn't even taken care of the first team's kit as far as the personalization goes. So they have worked their butts off these past few days. I mean, that's an understatement, but they managed to get everything done. And I was able to actually get this Friday afternoon, shortly after, before hanging out with Amy, who's also been a friend of the podcast for who knows how long. But once match day came across, something I've been meaning to do ever since they opened is take the Amtrak Capital over to Davis and go to Bruxy. And I'll put this way. I'm going to school everyone a little bit about Davis Burgers. So I'll make this quick. Years and years ago, there was a place called Murder Burger, later renamed Red Rum Burger. They made a 1-pound burger called the Aggie Night later. They've made Emu Burgers. But recently, the past couple of years, they ended up closing their location. And in steps Bruxy. I had their Bruxy Smash Burger, and I had their Super Cluck, and then even their strawberry lemonade. And it was just so delicious, so filling. The waffle was amazing, even with the maple syrup and the fried egg on there. And of course, I had to get the smash burger, and they did it so luxuriously. I mean, the burger just melted in my mouth. I mean, yeah, I practically had a when Harry met Sally moments, but nobody heard nothing. So, but if you have a chance to go on the day, definitely go to Proxy. You will disappoint. So, moving on to the rest of the day. So, after getting back to my hotel and collecting all the various beers from Texas I brought over, I made a quick haste over to Hard Health Park. And then once I walked over to the tailgate area, that's when I knew I was starting to feel at home again. You know, but busting open the beers, and yes, I brought the Jägermeister and the two silicone glasses. Just meeting everybody again for the first time since the Guess Who's back match back in 2023. I mean, it just felt like a homecoming. But then again, everybody makes it feel like a homecoming for me, and I am so grateful for everybody that showed up, you know, that hung out. I mean, it just made the trip from East Texas all the more worth it as far as that goes. And quick thought as well, a friend of mine on my Facebook, Kathy, when she was flying back from Sacramento to Phoenix, she was actually on the same plane as the entire Phoenix Rising Club. But as far as once the match was going in, yeah, I mean, the beers and the Jägermeister might have gotten away a little of it as far as that goes, because all I remember at the match is we were up 2-1, and I was thinking, yes, we got this 3 points. And then after I got, you know, some selfies with some of the players, and then also got featured on the Republic FC's social media with the picture, it was when I rode back with Scott Bradford that he was wondering why I was so happy. Talking about, yes, we beat Phoenix ass. Then he told me that it ended up being 2-2. I was like, huh? We tied. What do you mean tied? And then, you know, that's where it ended up. So once I got home, either way, yeah, Phoenix didn't beat us again. So that was the important part. We're still in second place in the Western Conference. I don't know if we're going to catch up to Tulsa, but, you know, this is the best match I've had west of the Rockies this year. Don't get me wrong. I love Birmingham. I want to go back there again, but there's always got to be the home match to come back to.
Yeah, and like I said, of all teams, of course, it was Phoenix, right? Worked out just great to have it be there, and I mean, it would have been a 2-1, right? I feel like 11v11, we end up winning the game. When you're down a man, it's not easy to, you know, deal with that, especially when you have players that have played a lot within the last week, right? And then the traveling in the mix, like, that's tough, right? I mean, in fact, we should actually be thankful that we didn't lose the match. One less man, 10 plus extra time of having one less man against a team that is feeling so motivated because they just tied after, you know, losing 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the guys were able to at least, you know, get us a point, and that's always really valuable, right? Is to do that, especially with the Phoenix Rising that wasn't that far off in the standings, right? So at least, you know, you split the points, you don't let them like get above you or you know, get closer to you in this case, but that's just what happened there. And I see that Rian has the goals pulled up here, so let's go ahead and take a look at the goals there. So go ahead, and I think it should. Are you there? No, actually, let me stop sharing here, and let's add the video here. So yeah, so let's talk about the goals over here. Oh yeah, we got some more there. Let's just talk about the first goal that was scored, right? And we've been seeing this happen before, right? Our players like get in front of the defenders and put that pressure that I don't know how many years I've been asking for, like, hey, put pressure. and that's what Russell did here. And we just saw him do that like crazy run. Was it last week? He once again does, another like epic run, catches up to the defender, takes it away from the defender, and then bam, you're right in front of the goalkeeper. So Russell is on fire, and we hope that level of play like continues, because man, he's reading the game so great as of the last month, right? I want to hear first. I want to hear from Jared, because I know I was really happy when I saw the 2 goals being scored on your side. I was like, I'm really glad that Jared's able to see the 2 goals. What was going through your mind when you see like Russell pull that run again?
Oh man, when I saw that run, I know something was building. I mean, we saw the attack coming right down the line. All it needed was just that quick tip, got him off his ankles, and just rolled in. I mean, anytime you can get a goal scored right in front of you as a fan, I mean, it's an amazing feeling, especially if it's your team that's scoring in. So beautiful, beautiful shot. No struggle. Just put in all the work, and he got us on the board 1-0. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Sharon.
No, I can't say anything else. Moving on. Rian.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I'll go. When the game first started, you wouldn't know that the Republic were coming off 2 days rest on a 3-match week. You would think that would be Phoenix. Phoenix came out lethargic, and Sacramento were putting a lot of pressure on Phoenix and trying to open this game up. And Russell Cicerone took it into his own hands and just bodied his way into on the defender. And he still had a lot of work to do to find the shot. And when he did, he just neatly puts it away and gives the Republic a lead. Great individual performance from him to get the first goal.
Now let's go ahead and move on to the own goal, which was rather interesting. I don't know if it threw you guys off.
That match was Ryan Spalding's match. He also got man of the match by Tower Bridge Battalion, and this is why. He did this not
fully
once,
deserved.
Fully deserved. He's incredible. He knows exactly what he's doing. And plus, he didn't have many minutes while they were away. So to have him come out and start and play this way, this was knock your socks off, lights out type of soccer. This man knows what's on the line, and he came to play. There was not going to be, any other answer but getting goals. And, if it wasn't an own goal, we actually had players that properly positioned themselves if the own goal wasn't scored. So we were in good. It was going to happen. That goal was going to happen somewhere. So and he had a chance in the second half to do the same thing, where he took it down the far side from where I'm sitting, the left side, and we're all excited because we thought, oh, it's going to happen again, but that one didn't happen. Obviously, we stopped right here at 2 goals with this own goal, but it's just too bad, Jeepers Creepers, that they got that. We know how horrible that feels when one of our players puts a goal in for the other side, but I'll tell you what, we were celebrating. I mean, this was big time, got loud, flags waving, cowbells ringing, screamers screaming. It was great. So it was all good. Great build up. Way to go, Ryan Spalding.
Yeah, once again, this is another contribution to why my voice doesn't sound great like it normally does, but just seeing Ryan just go in there, slicing, detecting, just getting that shot in, and then Phoenix scoring yet another own goal. I mean, take comfort in this, Phoenix. This is certainly not the worst own goal you've done in your club's history. Believe me, I remember James Musa and the goalkeeper of yours against New Mexico. So don't feel bad about this goal, but do feel bad that you couldn't keep up with Ryan Spalding as far as this attack goes.
Yeah, that was a rough own goal. I remember that one. Yeah. You guys probably still feeling it now.
Rion.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sing Ryan Spalding's praises once again. Just watching him on the near side from my perspective, that entire half of the field was on lockdown. I know Benitez usually plays out there. He's still a great defender. hands down. But Spalding, that was Spalding's night, and he showed out, and he showed why he deserves maybe more minutes. But he's like showing like the depth of the Republic and like who can come in off the bench off on a pinch and like put on a game, and great performance from him. Great ball. He put it in a dangerous area, and if you put it in that like little mixer in front of goal, like who knows what will happen. And we lucked out, and Republic got another one for their lead.
Yeah, and Sharon had a good point earlier. I think Corey Bennett would have actually scored right there. It looked like the ball would have gone to him if the guy ends up not scoring it. So yeah, I mean, it would have been one for us there. But yeah, I mean, Spalding showing us what he was showing us at the beginning of the season, right before he got injured. We're seeing it again, right? So I think we're going to see more of him, especially because we have the cup right around the corner. So it seems like that might be.
Gonna be fun. Fun times ahead for all of us. But do we have to review the second half, Rion? I mean, like, really, do we have to watch the second half, or can we just?
That was a little bit of a collapse.
Yeah, you could see it if you want.
Yeah. Stuff happened in the second half, and we don't have to look at it.
Okay,
Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. I didn't either.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We go with what Jared saw. I think.
Yeah, we'll leave it right here. We won half the match. Okay, we beat them in the first half, so we'll just leave that on the table. It was interesting though. The second half with the red card of Corey Bennett. That was the double yellow actually. Yeah, that was an idiotic thing. I mean, we all know when a player gets their dander up, or who knows what he's been fighting against with respect to their strikers and not being able to do the Corey Bennett magic that we've seen in the past. I think he was frustrated because I think he had a target on his back. Well, if you've got a target on your back, we're going to move on to the second half. If you've got a target on your back, then what do? You let other players play, otherwise known as Russell Cicerone. Some of the other guys, let them be more, take the pressure, but don't get so frustrated, man, that you've got to sit a league match. So you're not going to Colorado Springs. Hell, you were good at altitude in other locations, Corey Bennett. You were good when the team was in New Mexico and Albuquerque at altitude there. And now you're depriving us of a player at altitude. And you were good in altitude. So darn you, Corey Bennett. Why? Can we just undo these stinking fouls? Maybe we've challenged one of them, but they were both pretty blatant. What he did. It's like, what a goober. Anyhow, so now we're going to be pulling somebody up off the bench. Is Lewis Jameson ready to tackle this one on? Are we, where are we with respect to the next match, when this sort of thing happens? But now we're short a player. They'd already scored one goal on us, and then we get the ejection. And what do? You can't necessarily bunker because you still have to you still have to try to score. You're running that fine line of what if they get another goal? Now we're tied, and what if they get another goal after that? So it's like you still can't not play. So the second half was so hard. Our players were gassed, some of them, and they played hard. I think we had a few good subs, if I'm not mistaken. They pulled Nick Ross out. Nobody complained when they got subbed out. We fans complained when Corey Bennett got ejected, because it's like, oh man, that sucks. But
yeah, my thoughts on the second half. I mean, on the red card, the first yellow on Corey Bennett, that seemed like a pretty inadvertent elbow, elbows to the face. That's a immediate yellow. But the second yellow he drew, that's where it's like really, like, why did you do that? Like, you're on a card. Like, why would you just charge a player through the back? You're not gonna win that. Like,
totally.
You're putting your team in a bad position in that match, and then you're going to put them in a bad position to start the next match. And it's like, who wins from that? Like we certainly don't.
No.
But yeah. To your point, Sharon, about nobody complaining, I think I did see a complaint from our newest loanee right now, Cody Baker. I think I did see him a little frustrated because he came in at half, and then it didn't seem like he was
Gelling, like he knew
yeah,
what to do. He didn't
yeah,
know what the assignment was. Nobody told him what the play was. Jack Gurr had to cover and back for him. Jack Gurr had to switch spots with him. And then Cody was just like totally lost. And the coach was like totally yelling at him for, I don't know, 5 minutes straight and then yanked him. Okay, whatever. And then Chibi went in and we settled down. Okay, continue, Rian.
Yeah, exactly that. He like the game speed, like he wasn't up to that tempo yet, and he was still like figuring his way into the match. And it's really weird. It's when a sub is later subbed off, so like that just seems strange. And yeah, the second half just was all over the place. Great performance from Phoenix for fighting back, but like this was a match we could have won.
Yes. It was a match we could have won. And we did win a lot of it through the midfield. I thought we were doing better through the midfield with Luis Felipe, with, some of our players in row. He gave everything he possibly could. We had certain things going well for us. I think Freddie Kleeman, Lee Desmond, and JJ, when, were doing a really good job back there. And, and then of course there were some subs that occurred. But I just can't say enough about the Nick Ross, that whole group that sort of restarts the play. And when you add in Ryan Spalding and, our steady Freddie of, Jack Gurr on the right side, and it just, there was a comfort level of what we could do until we couldn't. But thanks to, the players, for doing as much as they could in this long road trip and coming home and giving it what they could, resting, starting training session. It's Tuesday, so they trained today, heavy training tomorrow, moderate training on Thursday, fly out Friday, I think, for Colorado Springs. Yeah, so.
Yeah. This was definitely the part that I don't remember. I mean, it's kind of hilarious, but kind of sad that all the goals were scored in front of our section, and I only remember one goal from Phoenix. So, yeah, that's something. But oh boy.
Yep.
Yeah. Some quick comments on the penalty. I felt like Lee may have given off the penalty to them. From a glance there, I just felt like, I mean, it was a clear penalty for them as well. I felt like with that one. With the red card, agree with Rian. I don't know how, knowing that you have a yellow card, you could do that. And so I'm sure coach is going to have a talk with them. Third, I think the second Phoenix goal, unfortunately, the camera angle doesn't really help as much. May have been slightly offside. I mean, kind of looked like that, but yeah, I wish we had a different camera angle because there's maybe so many offsides that could have happened or we could have made a stronger point for, but he looked like he may have been just slightly right there. And also on that note, I'm shocked that we don't have a sort of VAR version because I forgot what soccer league I was watching the other day that actually had a VAR league. I think it may have been.
It was a dirt field in Africa, dude. When you showed us, you shared that clip with us. It was this little dirt field somewhere in Africa, I think it was. And the VAR was literally like a dude. There was somebody videoing and he went over to a TV screen and it was a crappy dirt field, but he still was able to use VAR. It was probably not the best quality, but Luis, you shared that video with us and we all died.
Dude, I saw a Lucha Libre match have VAR before our league has one. I mean, come on. I love me a good lucha libre. I love me CMML. I'm a little pissed that WWE by AAA. But either way, when even lucha libre has VAR before your league does, that's got to say something about your league.
Yeah, actually, no, I remember now what game that was. It was a college soccer game.
Oh,
They
it was a
have
college.
video assistant in a college soccer game. How does USL not have it when college soccer has it?
Money.
And it's not that sophisticated for college soccer. It's not the most advanced VAR, but it's something.
It's money. It's money. There's a lot of colleges that have a little bit more money, and their divisions or conferences share in the pool of money. Whereas if you think about United Soccer Leagues, the championship level, when you have 10 people attending the Birmingham match, well, I shouldn't say 10. I don't know how many really there were there, Jared, but 100 people there, you're not going to have enough bank to cover VAR for all the matches, because there's how many teams in our league, and you've got to have a dedicated staff person being paid the same amount as the fourth official to monitor the VAR, the whole thing. It's expensive. It's not cheap. And MLS, they took the leap and they're paying for it. But if you look at what typically their fan base runs anywhere between 8 and 40,000 fans a match. So they have, and they sell jerseys. There's a lot more money in the leagues where they have it. And then collegiate, I don't know what level of college they were using VAR, and if it was the entire conference that had to have it. But typically, if one team has it in any conference, all of them have to have it. Still not cheap, unless they're I don't know how that would work.
I also want to add in practicality. A lot of the teams in our league don't own their own stadiums, so we'd be installing gear into places that we don't technically own.
True.
Yeah, or I mean, I say the basic option is just put the broadcast on there. Give him a screen, have the broadcaster just repeat it for the ref, and there you go. Just have something, even if it's not.
That would be awesome.
It's why not? No, there's no rules against it.
Nobody's disagreeing with you. We would love VAR, but we're shooting it down. We're shooting it down. The reasons why we don't.
And then one more point, real quick. When the heck did we sign Cody Baker or get him on loan? Because I missed the announcement. If there was an announcement made,
that was a few days ago.
He came in before the Rhode Island game.
Oh, okay, they did an announcement and everything. Because maybe I just
it was a quick announcement. Yeah.
Well, I think it's not a good idea to get a loan this late in the season. And
no, we had to. We don't know Jared Timmer's status. We had to bring another defender in because Chibi's keeps getting called up, for duty in the national team, and we need somebody. We can't just rely on Lee and Freddie and JJ. That's it for the big tall backs, the big center backs. So they were looking to bring anybody in.
Yeah, I mean, I just think at that point, give an academy guy a chance. I guess I go back to the players that we've gotten in the past that are on loan that really haven't been the right fit. But I feel like there's got to be some academy player you can, give them a chance to.
Hey, maybe this was a deal we couldn't resist. Hey, I got a deal for you. Maybe it's just one of those things. Who knows? But I think coach is going to sort that one out and determine whether or not that is a good fit for us or not.
Yeah, but of course, getting subbed out after getting subbed in is, I think coach has a big statement on that when that happens, right?
So if you think about it, he subbed out pretty much shortly after the ejection of Corey Bennett. So if we look at the stats on timeline, it could have been a strategic sub to put Chibi in. to kind of keep us from bleeding, additional goals because Chibi already understands the way that we play, whereas I don't think Cody quite was able to do Chibi's job, or the job of JJ or Chibi. So I think that was right about the timing. But to be fair, we heard Coach yelling like crazy. I don't remember who it was that was writing in the chat. Coach is sure loud. We can hear him on TV. Who's he yelling at? Somebody was watching on television. And I think he's yelling at Cody Baker. So I feel bad for the kid, because he's trying hard, I'm sure. But anyhow, let's look ahead. What do we got?
Wait, do you want to do post-match?
Oh, the interviews.
Oh, yeah. Let's go ahead and do that, yeah. The podcast will get the audio version. Rian will work on getting that pulled out. Well, you do that, Rian. Let's quickly just mention next Saturday's game. It's going to be in Colorado Springs. We know altitude, all the factors there. So I'm sure the players will have to be prepared for that as usual. But the recent form, they tied 3-3 against Tampa Bay Rowdies on Saturday. That was at Florida. Before that, they beat Monterey at home 2-1. Also, and this was a big-time result, right? Beat FC Tulsa 2-0 at Colorado. Again, you do have the factor of elevation, but it doesn't affect all of them, right? Because Orange County did beat them 1-0 back in August 16th. And then in their travel to Phoenix, they lost 4-1. So, yeah. But recent form, yeah, it's been pretty good. Over the last 2-3 weeks, they've had, wins and then Saturday's ties. So, yeah, team that we have to be careful with because you never know what they could be up to. Because this season, they've kind of gone up and down. And as we take a look at the standings right here, see how things have been like here after the tie. FC Tulsa still in first place, 46 points with 24 games played. We're in second, 38 points, 23 games played. Below us with the same games played, you got New Mexico with 33 points. Uncle Ruckus with 33 points. Both of them are 5 points behind us. Then you got El Paso, also with same games, 32 points. Lexington, 32 points, 24 games played. Phoenix also with 24 again. 31 points. This is why the point wasn't all that bad. We still keep him 7 points behind us with us having a game in hand. And then our opponent next Saturday, Colorado, is in 8th place, 31 points, same games as we do. But as was the case for the Phoenix Rising game, we need to make sure that they don't get the 3 points because otherwise they will just be 4 points behind us. And so they can get really close again. 8th place can move up to second. So we have to keep that in mind because Colorado is going to be trying to make the push to get up there and higher up, especially because they're right there on the verge of being out of playoffs. Because below them, they got Orange County with 29, 22 games played. Oakland with 23, 25 points. Las Vegas Lights with 24, 25 points. And then last, you got Monterey with 25 games played and 24 points. And I got to say with Monterey, it seems like every season, they just happen to have more games in hand than everyone else. I don't know what it is, but they seem to be playing more games in Monterey than they can. So that's that. And so for the podcast listeners, we're going to play the audio of the post-match for Phoenix. For the video watchers, we're actually going to pull up the quotes from there. And then, Rihanna, if you could zoom in maybe just a little bit.
Are we doing Phoenix or Rhode Island?
Actually, yeah, we have both of them. Yeah, I'll start with Rhode Island there. See what some of that commentary was. Of course, coach saying he was proud of the boys. Couldn't have given us a much harder draw. First knockaround went to Loudon, kept the clean sheet. Of course, yeah, same with Rhode Island. Yeah, 0-0. I mean, 2 clean sheets for Jared was a big deal, right? And one could even say that could even been a motivator for the penalties, right? It's like you didn't score on me 90 minutes. You're not scoring on me on the penalties either. And then Roro saying it was one heck of a game. We knew this game was going to take a lot of heart. We knew it wasn't going to be easy. Rhode Island's a good team. They're a really good team. You saw what they did last year, and they don't give up a lot defensively and offensively. They're pretty stacked up there, so we knew it was going to be a battle. And I think the better team deserved it. And yeah, sure enough, Roro took the first penalty shot, which I will say I was a little surprised because usually he's the fifth, right, shooter, because
Yeah.
he's usually the one
Well,
that's doing it.
strategically, they already knew that Rhode Island had missed. Well, no. Yeah, Wait, did Rhode Island, didn't they go first?
No, we went first.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, we went first. Oh, that's right. He sunk it. Yeah. Anyhow. So I like the quotes by Jared Mazzola. He basically says on the save that that kept the match scoreless, the way the game was going, I kind of was telling myself that I was going to have to make at least one save. And I saw the ball kind of pop out, and then the events transpired, and I just thought I'd make myself big and be up to the challenge. And that's like, you're always telling if you're a keeper coach, you're always telling your keepers, just be big, whatever you do. If you're coming out at something, just be big. And he sure was. It was the biggest that he could possibly be. So for those that are watching on YouTube, you can read the rest of the quotes here, but it was nice to get the quote sheet from Rhode Island. And then moving on, are we going to play the video from Phoenix? Is there anything?
Are we playing video, or are we just going to show like the quotes again? And
Yeah,
then...
we're gonna show the quotes here for this one. We'll play videos for the future, yeah, but with the connections, we don't want to take a chance at the lag there. All right, let's see the quotes there. All right,
Make it big.
so there you go. There's Coach Collins. Of course, had a lot to say, right, on the first thoughts right there. The travel, which was something that we've been talking about a lot, especially when you're traveling cross country, right? Literally cross country.
Right. He said he put that the team put themselves in a position that they should have seen it out. So you could tell there was a tiny bit of disappointment that he thought that they could win, but the tight Western Conference was also a question to him, and he goes, listen, we'll look at this as 2 points dropped, but also think credit to the players, because at the end, when they go to 2, it would have been easy to succumb to the pressure. So what he's saying there is when Phoenix tied us, that we could have crumbled and folded up like a pup tent, but we didn't. We stayed tight and we held on. And again, just talking about, it was a great delivery from Roro. And anyhow, so then as far as other things, there's other quotes came in from Russell Cicerone, and he's always a short quote guy. Pretty disappointed to be up 2 goals at home. I know we went down a man, but we've got to be able to see a game out like that. So, I mean, Russell's always short and sweet. It's like, I don't really want to be interviewed, but I'll do it. So he yeah. And then on the fan enthusiasm, he says, yeah, we came in with tired legs, but we played midweek, and just the support that they gave us to help us fight and help us get a 2-goal lead. I mean, the fans were amazing. It was so loud in here tonight. It's true. It was so loud. All the sections were loud. All the banging, everything was super loud. So I have to give him, props for recognizing that we kept it kind of loud all game long. So yay. And then they got Ryan Spalding in there for the quotes as well. You guys can read that.
Yeah. No, yeah. Shout out to everyone who went to the game. It was nice to see that it was sold out. Maybe also carrying from the excitement of going to the final, which, by the way, if anyone hasn't gotten their tickets yet, get them ASAP, because I think it's going to get sold out way before the weekend before that.
Dude, Michael Donato is saying that they're getting snapped up real fast. And I actually, Luis, you got those 2, and then there's 2 more because it's your birthday. And I bought 2 more from somebody else, and they're going. The tickets are flying off the shelf.
Yeah, so get them ASAP, because yeah, everyone's gonna want to be there. It's not every day you get to see a final right there. So, but yeah, all right. Well, let's go ahead and get to podcast winner dinner. And again, apologies for no music for this one, but that's how it is just for this one. Once we're back next week, we're gonna have all the jingles that you guys hear typically for each segment. But let's talk about podcast winner dinner because there's a lot of points that were given and standings have been updated here as well. So in this semifinal game, I should say, against Rhode Island, final scores here. Sharon got 2 points. Guessed that Rhode will gain the first yellow card. And of course, we all guessed Sac is winning penalties, and we went to penalties there. Jared got 1 point for the penalties. I got 2 points for Rhode Island getting the first yellow card. Shout out to Aldair, former Sac Republic player, for being the reason why I got the point there. And then, of course, for Sac getting the penalty kick win. And then Rian only got the 1 point for the Sac penalty kick win. And then going down to Saturday's match.
Can you share your screen again? It went away.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's all right. And some technical glitches here on the video side. All right.
Everybody loves seeing the chart. Everybody loves seeing that chart.
All right, you guys were able to see the original one?
There we go. Got it.
All right. So, so for last Saturday's game, Sharon got 1 point for Russell scoring the first goal. Jared and I got a point for Phoenix getting the first yellow card. And then in an event that I can't even recall if this has ever, I mean, maybe it did happen at some point, but not in the recent results. Rian got 0 points.
Oh, sorry. Oh my God, I laughed out loud. That was supposed to be inside voice. Sorry.
Which makes sense why he's not wearing the crown now. I think he's a little afraid at what might be going on, because when we look at the standings, Rian is still in first with 32 points, but Sharon isn't with 31 points. So they're only a yellow card, guessing the wrong one away from a potential tie for first there. And then Jared's in third with 29 points, also not far from them. And then I'm still in the basement, 27 points. But we got a final. More points will be given out for that one. So anything can still happen. I'm still hopeful that final can deliver.
Yeah, I have to keep my crown locked away from the rest of y'all.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay. I'll just go to Burger King and I'll buy my own.
Or they'll give it to you for free sometimes, by the way. You don't even have to ask. One time I didn't have to ask, and they're like, how many do you want? Here you go.
I'll go in with a child. I'll borrow somebody's child. My kid wants a crown. I don't have a kid.
Oh, they gave me some, and they didn't even ask me, do you have kids? They're like, you want one? Like, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll take one now. Yeah. But let's go ahead and do our predictions. This should be a really interesting one here. And I believe Rian won first for the cup predictions, not for the league predictions. So let's go ahead and start with Rian, and then we'll go in reverse order based on our chart right here.
Alrighty. So Colorado Springs away. It's kind of a rough one for the Republic. Out of the 8 times we've been there in the league, we've only won 3 of the matches and we've lost 4. The goal differential is not in our favor. But Colorado Springs are kind of a weaker team. Their attack is like around the same level of the Republic's, just a little bit less in terms of goals and shots created. But they have conceded more goals. They have kept less clean sheets. So Republic, I believe, will score in this match. It's a matter of keeping Colorado Springs out. I think Sac Republic will win 2-1 on the night.
Bold.
I think my goal scorers will be... Russell's been hot. Let's keep him going. Russell Cicerone for my first. And my backup will be... let's go with Christian. Sure. We didn't see him, so hopefully he shows up again. Assist. I'm still gonna ride Russell. Like, let's go with him for my first, and for my backup, it'll be Jack. For yellow card, Sac has drawn more yellows. I'll go with Sacramento for first yellow since they're on the road. And for the Republic's first yellow, I'm gonna go. Ooh, that's a tough one. Let's go with Lee.
Oh, you picked my guy.
He also picked the one I was thinking of, yeah. All right. Well, for my score line, I'm going to go with a 1-1 tie because it's not easy to play out in Colorado, and Colorado's trying to make a comeback. For the first goal scorer, I'm going to go with Christian, and if he doesn't see the pitch, I'll go with Russell. For the first assist, I'm going to go with Jack. Like, Jack's been overdue an assist again. If he doesn't see the pitch, I'll go with Roro. For the first yellow card, I'm going to go with Sac. And then for the first yellow card player, I was going to go with Lee, but I'm going to go instead with, you know what, Roro. Roro's been getting yellow cards, I feel like, lately, so let's go with Roro. Jared.
Now, given the fact that we are playing in the mountains, it's not going to be easy, especially given the lack of oxygen. So I'm going to say if we do have a chance, it's going to be a low-scoring affair. I am going to go Republic with 1-0. And then as far as goal scorer, that was going to be a little bit difficult. I'm going to say Ryan ends up getting it in there. If he does not see the pitch, then I am going to go with that's going to be a good decision as far as that goes. I'm going to say Blake Willie. I'll just throw it out there. Blake Willie goes for the goal. Now, as far as the assist, I am going to go Nick Ross and alternate of Luis Felipe. First yellow, I'm going to say for some reason or another, it's going to end up being against Colorado. And then our first yellow, for some reason, I suspect it's going to be Roro as well. I mean, I just get a feeling on that.
All right, I'll go. I have a scoring 1-1 tie ball game, just like Luis said. Altitude's tough. Colorado Springs plays us hard. They play us tough at home. I know we're on an upswing, but I think this is going to be a little rough. Anyhow, my goal scorers are going to be Russell, if he doesn't see the pitch, AJ. Do you want me to fill this in, or are you able to do that, Luis? Oh, you're doing it. Okay, cool. Yeah. My assists are going to go Roro, and if he doesn't see the pitch, then Christian. Just like Rian, Sac drawing the first yellow with Lee. Just because those are my predictions. I really want Michelle. I really wanted to pick other players to do things, but Russell's got a hot hand right now, and he's got a hot head. I mean, he wants goals in it, unless he's gonna get. He better start, and he better get me a goal. That's all I can say.
Yeah, and then of course you and Rian are gonna cancel each other out, and
again. Oh
yeah.
My gosh.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, but his assists. Yeah, the assists are gonna. Yeah, the assists and the backup. Yeah. So
yeah.
Man, all those score lines though are so close and so realistic.
Yeah, they're all realistic. Any of that 0-0, Rian, right? A 0-0 could be on the books for us.
Yeah, although it is at altitude, though, I feel like I think it's so difficult. I feel like to keep a clean sheet, right? Especially at altitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's that. And I did have, before we go to our final parting words, we actually got another comment from another listener. Shout out to Michael Duffy for actually sending us a contact form here. So give me 1 second, and we're going to be sharing here. I think we all went off screen here.
We know Michael Duffy. We know Michael.
So
we know him, but not everybody else may.
That's true.
Yeah, so this is what Michael Duffy, again, shout out to him for filling the form out here. He says, "Hi all, another great episode of the pod. That is for that. I'll be in Colorado for the match on the 20th, and I'm doing my best to get to the Springs to root for the boys in Old Glory Red. You mentioned that there are a few SAC fans going to the match. Is it possible to share some contact info with me? Cheers and keep up the good work, Michael." And yeah, Michael, we'll put you in contact with yeah.
Bridget and Ted will be there. Bridget and Ted just moved from Sacramento. They were soccer fans. They're going to be at the match. So, Michael, Bridget is in our chat group. So if you look at the members in our chat, Bridget is in there, and just reach out to her. I can hook you two up on cell phone numbers. If that works for you, just text me and let me know.
Yeah, and we can also put you in contact with our listener from last week, who is from Colorado, right?
Oh, right. Yeah, let's do that.
So more and more people, look, we're like helping form the Colorado Sac Republic supporters group there.
Cool.
That's great. So shout out to him for filling the form out there. And what is that? Looks like Sharon's sharing a sweater that says Lifeguard Santa Monica.
Jared, please explain.
Okay, so this kind of goes off the soccer topic, but those of you that have known me for a while know that I go to some of these music festivals, particularly in Pasadena. There's one called Cruel World. Now, when I had gone in 2023, which was my first music festival, there was a situation where there was a lightning strike on the first night of the show. Well, was originally supposed to be the only night of the show, that ended up causing Susie of Susie and the Banshees to cancel. So overnight, while I'm still in my hotel, I get a notification from the promoters that they were going to have a makeup day that very day. The problem was I was due to fly back to Phoenix because I was still living in Phoenix at the time for getting back home and then working the following Monday. But I ended up having a chat with Sharon. We ended up discussing, like options that we had and everything like that. And she helped me come to the realization that, there's a place in Santa Monica that I could fall back on if I need the extra night. So ultimately I had spoken with my manager in Phoenix, and I did a little bit of stretching as far as not being out there. It's partially true, given the airport I was flying out of Burbank. They do have some politics as far as the last hour that planes could fly out. So I let him know that I would actually be back in the office on Tuesday instead of Monday. He was fine with that. And then, Sharon helped make a perfect night as far as this goes, because later that night, they had Iggy Pop, Gary Newman, and then also the main highlight I was there for Susie. And because of Sharon's interaction, the whole night with Susie, I mean, it felt like an aura that there was some kind of power that was in place there. And basically that was something that kind of saved my music life as far as that goes. So thus, when I went to Cruel World this year, earlier in May, I decided to stop back over at the Santa Monica Pier, and I had picked out that hooded sweatshirt. Of course, granted, she probably might not want to wear it now, given the temperature. But also, I had given her a commemorative LA Metro card for the festival. So it basically has it's done up with the Cruel World logo and background. Technically, you can load it, but I figured, this would be a good way to thank her in some small way for making that decision, and I am certainly grateful for helping out with that decision as far as that goes.
Jared, we're friends for life, so it's all good.
Absolutely,
friends for life. That's what friends do.
That's awesome, yeah. It's a great story. I'm glad that you were able to go there and do that. Yeah, especially those sweaters are quite iconic, right? Out in the Southern California beaches, right? They must have been in some TV show or something because people like wear them all the time.
Baywatch.
Oh, is
Yeah,
that?
Baywatch.
Baywatch.
I figured there had to be something there, especially with the lifeguard message on there. All right, y'all. Last final parting words here before we say have a good morning or good night, and we'll see you. Well, you'll watch the game on Saturday, and then we'll just be counting down days till my birthday because of the final. Of course.
My birthday's before your birthday, young man. My birthday's being celebrated in Monterey. If anybody's going to be there, not really celebrated, but that's 2 days after my birthday. So I come first. Remember that.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm getting ahead of myself to the final, but
Yeah. See, there you go. Tower Bridge Battalion is going to be firming up plans for their watch party soon. So pay attention to their Facebook or their social medias as far as where their watch party is going to be this Saturday. And don't forget on the 24th, the Tower Bridge Battalion is hosting a game at CRC against the unified team from Sac Republic. So that should be kind of fun as well. And go Republic.
All right. Also, real quick, I just wanted to let everyone know that Saturday's match, I ended up winning a red light therapy and cryotherapy for Restore, which is a Republic FC sponsor. If you have the ability to do it, I would highly recommend it. The red light therapy, to put it bluntly, it makes you feel like a Pop-Tart because you have these two walls of red and yellow lights that heat you up for a good 10 minutes. It's supposed to help out with the skin, a few other things as well. And then the cryotherapy, I understand why so many of our Republic players go in there for that therapy. When the lady let me in, she said, think of a hype-up song that'll get you going for 2.5 minutes. And then I ended up picking Sisters of Mercy, Lucretia, My Reflection. And it just made sense, just seeing all the cold smoke and whatnot, the vapors just running up and just going outside of that little window. And I just wish I had taken my phone in there, but obviously it wouldn't have worked. But 2.5 minutes, they had me at negative 160 degrees and a robe, a wrap, 2 slippers, and mittens. But you know what? I'm seriously tempted to go there again and actually pay for it this time. Each treatment would have been the $55 value, and I ended up winning it at the table there at the match. So if you get, definitely put some appointment time. Your body's going to love you for it. And go Republic.
Yeah, keep an eye on the site. I'll keep my match recaps going. Sharon, you brought up the unified team. Remember, also they have a match against Colorado Springs after our match. So, if you happen to be in the area, go support the unified team. And also, I have one last shout out. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about Phoenix, but their radio broadcast team showed up to the match at Hart Hill Park, and they were like sitting in the row behind me, and they had an excellent call. So if you just happen to be, looking for something to listen to, Phoenix Rising's like broadcast radio is a pretty good listen, and they have a great announcement team. And go Republic.
Yeah, and as for mine, I completely forgot to mention it earlier in Golazo Gratitude because I think I was like just trying to go as quick as possible. But major Golazo Gratitude out to Sharon for buying me tickets and my girlfriend for the grand final on my birthday. So just shout out to you. It's gonna be back in 105. It's gonna be epic, and I'm already telling everyone that I'm visualizing us being champion. So I'm putting it out there. I'm seeing a championship on my birthday. It's gonna happen. So I just hope the team delivers on that. But I'm feeling pretty like hopeful that we're gonna lift the trophy on my birthday, and it's gonna be pretty epic. And as for everyone else, as usual, check out our website, sacsoccerpod.com. You could read Rianzal's Quill blog. Again, he's been putting up a lot of blog posts out there, so check them out there. You can contact us just like you've heard listeners contact us here already. You can review the podcast just as you heard about a listener reviewing our podcast last week. And you can also watch the video recordings of the podcast on the episode pages. So you could watch or listen, whichever one you'd like, but it's all under one page there. So if you're listening and then you're like, oh, let me go and see what they were referencing, like that sweater, the we talked about earlier, you can go back on the video recording and be able to see that there as well. But as usual, we thank you so much for watching or listening to our podcast. Again, we're going to put up another podcast next week. It'll probably be much earlier than this week. So appreciate the patience. Again, when you're traveling, you kind of have to change a few things around, but we're really glad that it all worked out and we were able to be here. And also gratitude to Jared also for spending extra hours. I know he has to like wake up pretty early, so shout out to Jared for doing that and for traveling back to Sac. I hope I get to see you next time you're out in Sacramento, and yeah, hopefully you can make it out to like a potential playoff game in USL. That would be great.
Yeah, we shall see. I'm hoping to.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Again, we appreciate you watching and listening to the podcast, and you'll hear us or watch us next week here on State of the Republic podcast. And the reason why you didn't hear Sharon is because I actually...
What a dope! Yeah, I was muted. I said, go eat at Blue Agave on Center Parkway. And
Yes.
cue the music.
Yes.
I took Jared there for dinner tonight. It was excellent. And Chris joined us. Thank you, Chris, for joining us at Blue Agave.
Nice.
Super good tacos. They had lengua. They had cabeza. They have all the meat.
Oh,
Yeah.
that cabeza. Oh,
Yeah.
God, that cabeza.
Wow, I got to go check out that place then. Yeah. I mean,
Yes,
like,
you do.
That
Yes,
seems
you
like
do.
a great place to go and check out. Well, for the people that are watching on video, sorry we don't have any song or maybe outro because I have to upload this pretty quick and I don't have my tools to edit video here. But you're going to be seeing, as usual, there's a video that might be covering part of Rihan's screen. Check it out. It might be our last episode that we recorded. And then next to Sharon, might also, actually, I don't think that's covering Sharon because it's a circle. You can subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Hit that subscribe button so you find out when new videos get posted there. So, yeah, thank you. That is all.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Have a good one.